Welcome everybody to look at another Imprint release via their Imprint collection, and this is number 435 in their collection, and it is 1937's You Only Live Once. So this is directed by Fritz Lang, who I've seen at least 17 other films from. Favourites being the likes of The Big Heat, Scarlet Street, Fury, Secret Beyond the Door, Hangmen Also Die, Manhunt and Cloak and Dagger. So this is a crime drama clocking in at 86 minutes long. Stars the likes of Sylvia Sidney, who I've seen in at least 9 other films. She was also in a couple of Fritz Lang films. She was also in Fury, as well as You and Me, as well as Dead End, Sabotage, and a lot of people might well know her, but not know of her from Mars Attacks as Grandma Norris, who is playing that god-awful music that kills off the aliens. Also stars Henry Fonda, I've seen in 16 other films. He was in the likes of 12 Angry Men, Failsafe, Once Upon a Time in the West, and the Oxbow Incident. So Eddie Taylor is an ex-convict who cannot get a break after being released from prison. When he is framed for a crime, Taylor is forced to escape prison after being sentenced to death. During the prison escape, however, Taylor becomes a real murderer, condemning himself and Joan to a life of crime and death on the road. So Joan is the wife who was waiting for him initially when he was first in prison, and they end up going on the run together, inadvertently also having a baby along the way. So yeah, although this is slightly hampered by the censors of the time, this is nonetheless a fantastic film that is an early example of the film noir efforts that would dominate the subsequent decade. The two leads are also excellent, the pacing is perfect, the supporting cast is good, it fits in a lot in its sub 90-minute running time but doesn't feel rushed one bit. It is engrossing throughout, the cinematography is on point, and the score is solid as well. So yeah, a perfectly excellent film, to be honest. 4.5 out of 5, and yeah, nice slipcover artwork there, which is original, and then we've got a different kind of original artwork as well on the actual case. And then we've got the disc itself. And on the disc, we've got a 1080p high definition presentation, which looks and sounds really rather good. No major issues with it. Then we've got audio interview with Fritz Lang recorded at the National Film Theatre in 1962. An interview with author George M. Wilson. You Only Live Once production takes from a film in the making. And then a restoration comparison, because I do believe this hasn't had a Blu-ray release in the past, but I might be misremembering. But regardless, yeah, really, really good film. And like I said, a perfectly good example of an early film noir. Now, obviously, it isn't actually that genre, because there are elements in this that wouldn't obviously be featured in film noirs. You know, for instance, a man having a baby at one point. I don't think any film noir has had that. But it certainly it does feel like a precursor to that one, with a very crime-orientated plot, a kind of fatalistic ending, and yeah, really good cinematography that's using shadows really nicely as well. So yeah, and if the story sounds somewhat familiar, it's also based on the real life story of Bonnie and Clyde, which would obviously get its own real Bonnie and Clyde film in the 60s. But this is a really, really good film, to be honest, and I personally prefer it to that 60s effort, as yeah, this just feels a little bit more grounded, a little less you know, interested in their death, more interested in their life, and yeah, it doesn't make a spectacle out of how they come to be. So yeah, overall, really, really good, and another favourite from Fritz Lang, who's definitely one of my favourite directors out there, and yeah, it's great to have another one of his films in my collection. But nonetheless, if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.